Hi, welcome back, and thank you for joining us in another episode of Ready on Set with me, your host, Roberto Garcia. Today, we're just going to be talking basically about weapons placement as far as it goes in your hand and what you see on TV from what it was before to what it is now. So let's get into it. One of the main things you would see mostly 1950s all the way up to the early 90s. You would see a lot of hand placement for anybody that was shooting using the teacup and saucer method, which is your weapon hand will be your teacup and your supporting hand will be your saucer. So the main thing that you would do with teacup and saucer, so you either try to square up to your target or you would get as close and lean as possible to be able to get a good proper shot. They through their research, they found out that that created a more stability platform around that. So that's why you see a lot of hand placement when it came to that term of that as far as gapping years. That you would see the teacup and saucer and like detectives, military, you would always see run like stop, don't move, and you would see this. That started kind of phasing out a little bit more. Mid to late 90s, all the way you start getting to the 2000s. And like I said, evolution started going in. You start people doing more engagements and you start figuring out more research that we went into more of a push-pull method. And that all it is you're pulling with your supporting hand and you're pushing with your actual firing hand. And what you want to try to do is you don't want to be fully extended, but you want to try to create some rigidness. With that pushing and that pulling, it meant to give you a better shooting platform that when you do fire a round, the weapon is not traveling or cocking back too much. So you are creating a more stable environment. And all it is just finding the ribs, gaps of your other fingers and just getting in that groove. So you're not crawling all the way back down here. That's why I always tell people, anytime that you're drawing, you're pushing up and you're coming back in, your fingers stay the same. There's no reason to be moving your fingers or anything like that. Just maintain your hands straight, get proper side alignment, side picture, front side, rear side, and get visual of your target. But then Robert, like there are some gangster movies and I will see guys holding the weapon like this, like, hey, break yourself. Yes, to some extent, that would actually work. But at that time, guys that were pretty much with money and everything else, they started figuring out like, hey man, I can get an attachment that goes to the bottom of the weapon that is more like a laser pointer. And pretty much wherever I would point the laser, which got really popular at the time, like 90s, 80s, that wherever I would point the laser, that's where pretty much if my weapon was calibrated to my laser, that's where my round was going. So they didn't really need to hold the weapon in any way because for them is wherever they point, that's where the round was going to go regardless of how they were holding the weapon. Or you would see the spray and praise when they're running or shooting or in the vehicle, and you will see that. More you start getting into the military, more you start getting into research and development. Now to this day, you will see some military members, some contract members, or guys that are hired guns to pretty much that you'll see them running with this, and then they'll hold that position without any laser point or anything. When they do that, all they're doing is they're just trying to put as many rounds on target as possible. They're just trying to lay down cover fire for them to be able to make their exit or get to another point. When you are actually shooting from a different platform, that you see guys on the ground, either on the vehicle, and their body is turned, or they're up against the side of a building or anything like that, and they're peeking out, and their weapon is coming up, even though they're not pretty much squared up, they're still maintaining that front side and rear side alignment to their target. So the weapon, I can have my weapon sideways as long as I have a good visual of my front side and my rear side to my target. My rounds are just gonna go exactly where they need to go if I was holding it like this. There's even some videos online of a guy pretty much lining up his target with the weapon upside down and pulling a trigger to make a point that it doesn't really matter how you hold the weapon. What matters is that you have proper side alignment, side picture when you are engaging your targets. So next time that you're on set and you're like, oh, I'm going to be cool and I'm just going to fire my weapon, understand why you're firing your weapon. Now, if you're getting into a fight and you're like, hey man, give me your shit, and you're within your, what, 2 feet, yeah, that round is pretty much going to go dead center in the torso. Now, if you're further away and you're trying to do one of these, it ain't going to freaking happen. I'm sorry. Unless you're military or something like that, even at that point, it requires a lot of training and trigger time to be able to develop that in real life. So if you start seeing any funny shit on camera, that whether it's in the movies or a music video or a show or a short or anything like that, feel free to either tag me, point it out so I can give you guys one of the best things. Like I said, always things. There's many great tech advisors that I met throughout my career, and those guys are continuously doing great work. And I have learned a lot, and from my process of learning, I've also understood that it's not only what you know from the military, but it's what you actually have learned from the film industry of what you're actually seeing, what actually is important. So, like I said again, please be sure to, if you have anything that requires any gunplay or tactics or movement or anything like that, please reach out to either myself or any tech advisor that might be around you or that you're knowing that has actual knowledge and experience working in that environment, and make good films, make good projects, and let's get back into it and get everything going good, because everybody's not for good quality content. So let's just get together and be professional like we're supposed to be. Hey, like I say again, like I say always, please be safe. If not, stay deadly. Keep training, guys. All right, talk to you soon.